As we look at the rest of the Monday Night Raw 5-point preview, obviously Goldberg versus Brock, that is probably the biggest thing that's going to be going down. But a lot in the background is going to be not knowing what the foreseeable future of Seth Rollins is going to be. Seth Rollins, to me, honestly looked like he was going to be having a match against Samoa Joe at Fastlane. And I know we talked about this in the video where we went over Seth Rollins' injury when the breaking news rolled out on Tuesday that, you know, this was a bad deal for Seth Rollins. And a lot of people get on me basically saying that it's not 100% certain that Seth Rollins is going to miss WrestleMania. But this is a knee injury on the same knee that was injured last year, which led to his long road to recovery. I can honestly say that it's not looking good for Seth Rollins. We haven't heard much news coming out of this. Some people say that, you know, if it's not that bad of an injury, this type of a knee thing can get healed up and he can be ready for WrestleMania, but definitely more likely missed Fastlane. I don't really know what scenario is to play out of this. All I know is that, honestly, Samoa Joe is probably not going to have to lose to Seth Rollins at Fastlane, which is good for Samoa Joe. Who wants to see a guy come up from NXT and have his main roster debut and then immediately lose his first pay-per-view match in WWE as sort of a roadblock between Seth Rollins and Triple H? Maybe, you know, from there, Samoa Joe could not be a real part of the Monday Night Raw roster, lose this one match, then go jump and be a part of SmackDown. But to me, honestly, that's sort of making people think that you only watch Raw or you only watch SmackDown and you don't really know what's going on with both shows. If he loses the match, he loses the fucking match. And I'm not saying that Samoa Joe loses one match and he immediately falls from being a main event guy to being a nobody, but it just sort of sets the tone. I mean, Kevin Owens coming in from NXT and winning a match against John Cena at the Elimination Chamber last year really has set Kevin Owens to being that main guy. That when he was a part of the Survivor Series tournament last year, it was believable that he had a chance to win it. When he was in the Fatal 4-Way last year after SummerSlam when Finn Balor was injured, it set a precedent that he had a real chance to win it. That even if it was a year ago when the writers said this is how we're going to bring this guy in and he's going to debut in the main roster, this is the main guy. And we're going to try and keep him there as long as there's going to be there. Yeah, he fell out of that spot. He carried the Intercontinental Championship 2 times, but he got himself right back up. And hopefully for me, Samoa Joe piling up wins, making him look like a badass, is a great deal. And to me, honestly, him getting, you know, a win over, in my best case scenario for Samoa Joe, what happens is that Triple H realizes that he's released a monster. And it's too big for him to contain. I mean, this is this is Braun Strowman on steroids. Braun Strowman 2.0, a bigger monster than that guy. Joe's just running around killing everybody, and Triple H is like, fuck, you know, I don't like Seth Rollins. I think he let me down, but at the same time, I can't have you killing these guys because I'm in charge of the WWE, and I can't have you hurting my investment. Yeah, I wanted Rollins to lose. I didn't really want him to be champion, but him being on the sidelines isn't really helping me out at all. So I have to help try and contain you. Then you have Triple H as a babyface going up as Joe as a heel. Joe kills him, and now immediately Joe looks like a guy that could take the championship and could go up against Roman Reigns. He could go up against anybody who's on top. He could go up against Goldberg. He could go up against anybody who would be your babyface champion. And I just realized that there's really nobody out there that can be on top. Even if you turn Jericho, I don't really see Jericho being the top guy. Roman Reigns is all you fucking got, and people hate him. So, I love Rollins. I think he's a great wrestler. I think that the hiccup that he got on Raw, however long it takes him to get that injury and can come back, I hope it's sooner than later. We've all seen the WWE 24 about his road to recovery last year, and we don't wish that on anybody. Hopefully he can come back sooner than later. If they're going to release what's going on with them, hopefully it's not the Authority coming down to the ring and bragging about it. Because if they do that, he ain't coming back for a long time.